Hello, I'm Mantastic'c and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the two buffs that have gone live in North America. So, first things first, there's Raziel and Typhon who have received buffs in their various different forms. And I'm just going to be looking at the two of them individually to give you an idea of what they could be possibly have in store for yourselves. And for Raziel, they are farmable, which means everyone can acquire them, and if you either have the patience to skill it up or enough pies, you can have a pretty useful card. So, in their base form, they now have 6 skill boosts. That's great. Whale Door went from 5 to 6 skill boosts, so he was the greatest farmable option at the time. Now Raziel is superior because you have Skillbind Resist included, and you also get like a Cloud Resist because why not? But the point of the matter is you have Skillbind Resist, so you don't get as weak. You're not as like in danger necessarily compared to Skillbind attacks. So if you have too many Whale Doors for skill boost, you could have a bit of a problem there. And they both share a low base cooldown, so it's a nice buff overall. My Raziel is definitely happy. But their Evolve form, who I've basically just kind of ignored / forgotten / neglected because the base form was just better, has now become quite meaningful. So you still have to skill them up quite a bit, and it's going to be a costly endeavor because you can't skill it up naturally by just playing the dungeon. Like, I guess you could evolve, but it's just going to be a costly venture. But if you do invest enough peas or pies into it, you can have a full cleric style active skill on a 10-turn cooldown. So you clear all unmatchable status, you get full HP heal, and then all bind, awoken bind clears, and locked orbs. So you counter spinners, you counter all the binds, awoken binds, unmatchable. Pretty nice for a farmable card overall. And then the awakenings are actually meaningful. You have 2 L's. You have a VDP, which is a little unsynergistic, unfortunately. But you have follow-up attack if that's relevant. You have skill boost, some time extend. And in all honesty, you have actually a leader skill that's not bad. You can pair with Phyllis, and it's not a bad thing overall. Let's say you rolled in Yu-Gi-Oh! Clep. You got Exodia, but you don't have your own Phyllis. Raziel's not a bad pairing overall. Obviously, you miss out on Phyllis's great active skill, but you now have a Cleric, which means you might be able to open up some slot possibilities. And if we look at their leader skill multipliers, together they have 3.6 times health, you get 324 times attack, and you have a 3 times multiplier for recovery. Before, Double Phyllis didn't have any RCV, so you either had to find healing solutions, say like Gung Ho Belial or whatnot. But now with Raziel pairing, you don't have to worry about it. You should be able to heal enough sufficiently. Like, keeping your health and your recovery multipliers similar usually is good enough when you're trying to like balance how much you can heal back up. So this is a reasonably nice distribution. You have 62.5% damage reduction, and you get the same bonus combos total. So this is actually not a bad pairing overall. It definitely can give you a bit more flexibility and options, especially if you didn't roll your own Phyllis and you have cards like Exodia. Now for Typhon. Typhon received many buffs in various different forms, and I'm just going to go address them individually. So we're going to go back into his first forms, not this form. Pad DB is quite helpful for these types of things. Alrighty, we came to this form here. So TPAs are just not really a thing at this point in time. Like, TPAs don't really pan out, unfortunately. So all these TPAs with his Big 10 combo might go to waste, but who knows? Maybe there will be a Dark Leader in the future that wants to use TPAs. I don't think it's really the time at this point, but it was a buff. Technically, like, this is an improvement, and their active skill is actually an improvement. You get to get a board changer of Fire, Water, Dark, and Heart Orbs, and then remove all Awoken skill binds, so that's useful in itself, and 1 turn of haste. Not terrible, not great. I don't really feel like I could justify their inclusion on a team, but it's something. For their Anna form, it's kind of a weird evolution overall, but they have potentially 6 skill boosts and 2 turns haste. So an 8 effective skill boost card. Pretty great. Like, there possibly might be times where you need to have this sort of thing, and it definitely can be meaningful because you have 6 natural skill boosts and 2 haste. So if you have multi-step transform cards, this definitely can be a way to ease that transformation time because it's quite meaningful. And of a 12-turn cooldown, it's not outrageously long. Maybe you could inherit something over top of it, but the point of the matter is 6 skill boosts with 2-turn haste and the board changer as well. Pretty interesting overall. Not sure how you might use it, but it's something to be aware of. And then finally, Typhon in their Mega Awoken form has become quite a damage stick. They have 3 7 combos and the chance to get 10 combos. So that's 8 times 5, 40 times personal damage with a large attack stat. Definitely meaningful there overall. Their active skill is a 9-turn cooldown that gives you a full board unlock, and then you get a board changer of Fire, Water, Dark, and Heart Orbs, and then 3 turns of 3 times RCV and 3 times attack buff. So it's buffing 2 stats, which is not bad at all, and it has huge amounts of personal damage, especially if you take the 10 combo route, and even taking 777 with a Devil Killer and VDP is not terrible either. It all will depend on the type of dungeon you're playing through. Is voids an important issue for you, or do you need just big raw damage? Because in theory, this can deal large amounts of damage, but again, I feel like I'm just trying to figure out where can we slot them in necessarily for any mono dark team. As a leader, they did receive a health multiplier buff. They now give 4.84 times health for dragon and dark type cards, so reasonably flexible leader skill overall. They have 43.75% damage reduction, so they have large amounts of effective health. They still need to have a healing solution because, like I mentioned for Raziel and Phyllis, if your health and RCV multipliers are reasonably in line, you're in a good place. Here, it's obviously a massive disparity, 4.84 times versus 1 times. Big problem there, so you definitely need to find ways to heal up more efficiently, but you only need to match 4 more connected hard orbs, and in all honesty, Typhon has become quite a strong farming leader, because in theory, if you have enough raccoons from Mystics and Spectres, they make Column of Dark, Column of Hearts, that activates all of Typhon's leader skills, you get the big bonus combos, you're going to have a pretty good time overall, and you get that follow-up attack pre-made, so you don't even need auto follow-up attack, so dual Typhon pairing gives you +6 combos. That raccoon board will give you 8 combos when you swipe. Great value overall. So if you do have Typhon, it's just more zest for themselves overall. So hopefully this video provides you with a little bit of insight as to what did receive buffs. Raziel is a nice farmable with lots of skill boosts and a pretty decent Phyllis pairing along with not a bad cleric if you can sink enough pies or peas into them. And Typhon is just getting buffed continuously overall, and maybe in the future he might even become stronger. Either way, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.